Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I recently worked with a one-to-one client going through her ads account, and she had actually hired someone on Fiverr that found her thousands of keywords. And it was kind of overwhelming to go through the keywords and find the data. And we talked about whether or not she should add her new books to these campaigns. And I just wanted to kind of break that down for you in this video so you could have more clarity. This client has beautiful books, and sometimes when we're creating a book, we might know more about the customer than anybody else that we hire, right? Because we have done the spiritual creation. That means we thought about it in our mind. And then we did the digital creation, right? Where we actually created it. And then we published it and we bought it. And that was like the physical creation. So throughout those stages, you're going to have some insight into your customer that maybe a third party wouldn't have. And certainly someone that has never created books and then ran ads. Okay, so we're answering the question today, should you add new books to existing ad groups for Amazon advertising book income? And here's the first things that I want to talk about is my experience. We've done, 17 million people have seen my books. I've spent $14,927 on ads over 16 months. And in our Amazon account, in my Amazon account, we've sold 98,747 and 36 cents. So let's dive in. What happens when you add a new book to an existing ad group is that you're mixing data. And this is something you need to ask yourself. Does it benefit this ad campaign to mix the data? Because you've already ran these ads for 3, 7, 14 days. You have information in there. If it's optimized, a lot of people won't touch it because they know that it's working. If it's not optimized, people might think, well, let's try a different book for these keywords. So when we're mixing data, the really important thing to remember is how close are these ingredients to each other? And like when I say ingredients, I like to think about it like a recipe, like keywords are recipes. And that's really something I've experienced in real life. If you follow me on YouTube, you know in my community page, I'll post pictures of curries that I have made for my children. Everyone in my family loves green curry, but we don't eat it at restaurants because they put palm sugar in it. And my husband has type 2 diabetes. And if we're going to eat sugar, like, let's just go eat sugar. So green curry calls for palm sugar, but there's a lot of different ways you can make it and still make it sweet, like using the natural fruit of coconut, right? So this obviously is not a picture of green curry. This is probably red curry or something similar. And when I started making these recipes, sometimes I would mix the recipes together. And 2 of 3 of my kids are foodies. They have a scent that they know when I switch things up and they call me out on it. And because I've created a recipe that they love, now I can't go and experiment because they know what works. And that kind of makes me think about ads. Like my goal is to scale my books individually with their own data. So when I mix books to a existing ad group, I'm mixing data and then I have to sift through old data and new data to be able to make sense of what's happening in the campaign. And because scaling requires optimization, I prefer to not add new books to existing ad groups. Now, if you follow my channel, you will see I developed a new strategy called the blocked book ad strategy. And that was developed because one of my books was blocked in January and it had made almost $40,000 in royalties. And I was so devastated, I didn't want to turn off the ad. For 5 months, all I did was turn down the ad, turn down the bids, turn down the budget, and just prayed that like something would happen with it where it could get unblocked. But the more I learned about KDP, copyright, trademark, Canva Pro, there was just so many things that I've just kind of decided that if that book is going to be resurrected, it's not going to be on Amazon. I'm going to put it in a book funnel and scale it to the targeted audience because Amazon decided to stick behind their decision. So I made a book very, very, very similar to this blocked book. And so at the time of this recording, this video, this campaign, I have added a new book to an existing ad group. And I am scaling back up the budget, the daily budget, and the daily bids because it's going after almost an identical customer, like almost verbatim. So I'm testing it out, but in most cases, my goal is to scale books individually. So being able to do that by using the book's individual data serves me more than mixing data together. Okay. So like if I have a tried and true curry recipe, I need to quit messing around by adding new stuff together and faking out my kids when they're so excited for when I nailed the recipe. And I follow a recipe book called Made in India. And my friend she's American, she lives in Thailand. She told me the other day she's had this recipe book for 3 years. And she said, I finally did this recipe without opening the book. And I was like, that is exactly how ads work. When you spend enough time getting to know your analytics, then you don't want to mix up the data. There are tiny exceptions to the rule, right? Like I just shared, and you really get to decide. But from my experience of scaling almost 6 figures in sales with ads, my goal is to optimize books individually. Please let me know what questions you have and like and subscribe to see more advertising book income videos. But also this channel is really about creating skill sets that can be monetized. And for me, that's Amazon ads, right? It brings in income and I can also teach people from it. And this has been a really fun income stream that I've done. And it hasn't been overnight. I started with $47. And so I just put my profits back into my ad spend to grow this income stream. Love you guys. Have a great day and check out the YouTube suggested video here. And I'll see you in the next video.